All right. So today I thought about something when I was waking up because I had a conversation with my mom who's been visiting, and it was just interesting when I was paying attention to the way that I was holding that conversation and the way that I was interacting with her and holding space for her. And what came up was the topic of projecting. And I know a lot of people have probably heard this word, but probably, you know, have their own idea of what it means because it's kind of one of those things that you kind of make it whatever you really think it means. And so I guess what it means to me is what I wanted to talk about today. And in the field of coaching, especially, you learn about this technique of listening called motivational interviewing, which is really active listening with the intention to respond with questions or some kind of guidance that ultimately helps the person understand themselves better and make decisions for themselves so that they can autonomously grow and become a better, more developed person. And in practicing that, you're always going to find that when someone is talking about an issue that you've experienced in your past, something that you've overcome, especially, it's going to trigger some memories in you. It's going to trigger some of those emotions that you had when you were going through that in the past, and when you had that epiphany. Oh, I need to wake up earlier in the morning, or I need to do this in my routine, or I need to make sure that I exercise like this. And those thoughts come up into your head as this person is telling you their experience. And all you want to do is be like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about waking up earlier in the morning? What do you think about going to that? And all of a sudden what you're doing is you're projecting your experience, which might have been very positive, onto that person in such a way that it's almost telling that person that what your experience was should also be their experience. And what I'm realizing is, even though you might be coming from a good place, really trying to hold space, really trying to support that person and help them grow, you're actually doing them more harm if you're not actually allowing them to come up with that decision for themselves, because everybody is on their own journey. Everybody is going to decide for themselves what they ultimately feel is best and when they feel it's best. And sometimes they may never come to the same conclusion that you did. There's a lot of people out there that just need support or they just need support in a way that is really just unconditional, in a way that allows them to go through their cycles. It allows them to take their time to figure themselves out at whatever pace they may feel is necessary, or is necessary for them to move through whatever traumas they're experiencing or whatever challenges arise. So I really just wanted to touch base on the concept of projecting and understand that when you're listening to someone and you're trying to be a support, try to make sure that you're not coming from a place of ultimately telling them what to do, but you're really just holding space for them so that they can begin to understand themselves better and they can process their experience better, and then maybe find the answers themselves. And then also, if you're someone that's going through something, if you're someone that's trying to improve yourself and you're trying to find good support, try to make sure that you educate those supporters of yours on how to listen appropriately, on how to be curious, and how to make sure that they're not projecting their experience onto you so that you aren't limited in what kind of insight that you discover. So that's it for today. Just trying to think about the idea of projecting and trying to encourage myself and everyone else to just be more neutral and more curious about other people's experiences instead of trying to push them to discover the same things that I have.